Alright guys, we're doing 2,500 points. Sylvan Elves versus Saurian Ancients. The terrain for this map is a impassable terrain, a wall, a forest, a field. The Sylvan Elves player placed this forest here, and a little river and a hill, if I didn't already say that. Alright, for my deployment, over on this side, or first we did diagonal, so that was his deployment zone. My Sylvan Elves deployment zone is on this side. For units, I have 15 Palace Guard. They don't have any upgrades. This unit right here is 50 Forest Guard with 2 characters. This one right here is a BSB hero, and this one is a level 4 lore of fire. I have 5 Pathfinders back here to try to take care of this threat. 1 Lord on foot with the shape-shifting kindred, and 1 hero on foot with the shape-shifting kindred. And here is Sylvan Archers. There's 10 of them with black arrows. 30 Dryads. They have a champion. Another 15 Palace Guard. They're bear. A Great Eagle, which happens to be a little owl. And 10 more archers. These ones don't have black arrows. And I scouted in some Pathfinders in the back there. Alright, so on to Lizardman deployment.
Alright, YouTube, what we got here, 35 Saurus Warrior Spears, full command, fighting an extra rank totem. Engine of the God Stegodon, getting real angry, gonna munch up on some elves today, you know it. We've got 20 Temple Guard, full command with a Slan Laura Fire inside. Engine of the God Stegodon facing backwards, he don't know what he's doing. We've got 35 more Saurus, full command. Over here we have some Chameleon Skinks. And lastly, scouted back behind his army, we have another squad of Chameleon Skinks. So we're about to get into this. Lizardmen player turn. Getting ready to blow some things up. Let's do it. Can I get a hoo-ah?
Okay, in Lizardman movement phase, his Skinks moved up. He moved back with his Saurus Warriors, his Temple Guard, and his Engine of the Gods. And his Stegodon moved forward a little bit, and his Skinks moved a little closer to my archers. Now on to magic and shooting.
Alright boys, end of turn 1. We had the Skink Skirmishers, the Chameleons over here move up. Sniped off 3 of these Wood Elves over here. Palace Guard, so 3 of those down. There was 1 wound from Laura Fire attribute on that High Elf, or Wood Elf Prince, the hero, so Chief. He took 1 wound. Down here, Chameleon Skink popped 2 wounds onto that Great Owl. As for over here, magic spells. Fireball casted back, which ended up destroying the scouts that he had placed back here. And the Slan miscasted twice. First time, it killed 2 of his own Temple Guard. As you can see there, he threw 2 dice at the boosted Fireball. Got it off, but on double 6s. Second spell, he rolled 4 dice and miscasted and lost 2 wizard levels. Now he's a level 2 fire wizard. He lost Burning Ramparts. Burning Ramparts is on that giant squad there for the time being, but otherwise we'll get back to you after the Wood Elf player moves some things around. What up?
Alright, for movement, I moved up the Pathfinders a little bit closer to the Skinks. I marched forward with the Palace Guard. Because they had burning ramparts, I only moved up. I wheeled my archers a little bit to look at the skinks over here. I moved forward my 2 solo hero and lord. I marched up my dryads. I marched up my other Palace Guard unit, and I flew my eagle up in front. And I left these archers where they're at. So this is how it's looking. I'll get back to you after magic and shooting. Okay, for Sylvan Elf shooting and magic. Magic, I miscasted, getting off, what is the final one? Fireborn?
Fireborn, Father Ward, and plus 1 toughness.
Alright, that's on this squad right here. I miscasted, dealt 1 wound to the wizard, and killed 2 of my spearmen. The shooting here killed 3 chameleon skinks. Both shooting from both these archers into this unit didn't do anything. So that is my turn. We're gonna go over to Lizardman turn 2.
All right. Lizardmen movement phase. Moved up the chameleon skinks face to face with these, whatever the Glade Guard used to be, Pathfinders. So, gonna try to take them on, blow some blow darts to the face. Scoot back all of my units to form kind of a neat battle line over here. Also moved the skink skirmisher chameleons up behind the owl outside of the arc for the Palace Guard over here. Hoping to kill that owl, get it out of the way. But we're about to start magic phase. There's already been 3 miscasts. 1 from the Wood Elf, the Sylvan Elves, and 2 from the Lizardmen. So about to get going. Hopefully no more miscasts. Fingers crossed. Top of 2 Lizardman player turn after movement, shooting, and magic. The 1 hero here on the left is dead from fire magic. As for back here, skink skirmisher chameleons shot at these guys back here, caused 1 wound. And over here, the other skink skirmishers took care of that great owl. So he's dead. You see some of the Palace Guard there are dead. They got hit with a 2d6 fireball, lost a few models there. Caused some panic, but nothing is fleeing. Everybody did hold. So we're going to go to the Sylvan Elves player's turn. He's going to do his movement, and then we'll show you what's going on right after that. Hopefully there's some combat soon.
Alright, Sylvan Elves, turn 2, bottom of turn 2 movement. I moved the Pathfinders back some. I wheeled the archers some just to look. I failed the charge on these guys onto the skinks, made them flee. I moved forward the Palace Guard up some, just to cover these Dryads' flanks. Marched up the Dryads. I marched up the Forest Guard. They had burning ramparts on them, which did 6 wounds to them. Luckily, because they were +1 toughness and fireborn. I marched up the Palace Guard over there also, and now it's on to magic and shooting. I'll get back to you soon.
I think Bertoni needs coming.
Alright, for shooting, I did 1 wound from the Pathfinders onto this skink squad right here. He passed the panic.
That's the next time.
I shot with these Sylvan archers into this squad. Did 1 wound. Magic, I got off flaming swords on the Lord down there.
Thank you.
And did 2 wounds to his Temple Guard. And then he blocked my burning ramparts. So now it's on to combat. Alright, so combat, the Combat Lord killed the Engine of the Gods. Both units didn't panic, and I just reformed to face the Temple Guard over here. So on to Saurian Ancients turn 3.
Alright, so as a movement phase, Saurus charged the Palace Guard. Stegodon, Engine of the Gods, with sharp horns, and the Temple Guard charged the dryads. Over here, Source had one of those weird charges where they couldn't wheel in because of the positioning of the enemy units here. So they made that special move moving forward. It's called blocked path, I believe. So they moved directly forward. Their charge range ran into his large squad here, and since the enemy has to perform a combat reform, it triggered burning ramparts. So that just killed 18 of its units there. Outside of that, we moved up the skink skirmishers, the chameleons, and these chameleons have not rallied yet. So we're gonna do magic and shooting, and we'll get back to you. Alright, so magic wasn't very eventful. I tried to cast flaming swords, but he ended up dispelling that. I didn't throw enough dice to get off the ember spell, the ultimate one, so that missed. Outside of that, only had a shooting attack over here. Everybody whiffed, so now we're going to go into combat and we'll get back to you after that. Alright, so as you can see, things look a little different on the field here. Saurus that charged the Palace Guard over here ended up losing 5 Saurus, but they wiped out the Palace Guard. Stegodon and the Temple Guard block were able to run over the Dryads. They fled and ran them down. And then the Saurus that charged his Spearman block squad ended up popping them in combat and chasing them down. Had to take a few dangerous terrain tests because of the Sylvan Elves rule for these forests. So that was a little bit juicy, lost a few models there. But other than that, you can see we still have chameleon skinks. So just gotta watch out for this little fella. This guy's up to no good.
Another one. Another one.
Now we're packing up the wood elf lord. Ended up getting charged by the Saurus and ended up losing from static combat resolution. So good game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll get back to you with some more, and we'll see you next game.